right, welcome back to Law Out Loud. If you're just tuning in, this is WGSO 990 AM Law Out Loud with Jennifer Gaubert. If you missed our segment recently, we had Julie Tizard, criminal legal analyst, on talking about Judge Parker, who recently filed a subpoena to have DA Canizero in his courtroom. If you missed that segment, you can check it out on our podcast tomorrow, which is www.lolwithjen, and that's 1n.com. And now we're going to have on David Marcello, who is a professor over at Tulane, who's currently working on expungement reform, has brought together some hardworking students who recently graduated from Loyola and who created the Justice and Accountability Center, which opened in May of 2011. For the past year, while they were in law school, they're actually co-founders and co-directors of the Justice and Accountability Center. Pretty amazing girls here who worked on creating this. So I'd like to welcome Adrienne Wheeler and Ameca Reali on. Welcome on, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so tell me, what was kind of the passion, or what was the impetus? What drove you to start the Accountability Center?
I think for me, I have a personal connection to the work. I've seen throughout my life exactly how interaction with the criminal justice system, even one time, can really hurt a person's chance at having a viable future. So for me, that was the impetus.
My interest started maybe around 2004 with social movements, and it graduated into looking at the prison system and how mass incarceration impacts the population.
Right. So if someone is trying to get a job, and we also have on Daniel Nguyen, who y'all were kind of brought together through David Marcello, right?
Yes.
He's the executive director of the Public Law Center, and he's working on some expungement reform, and brought Daniel Nguyen in, who, Daniel, you work with the Community Development for Workforce in New Orleans East, correct?
With MQVN, Community Development Corporation.
Okay. And tell me kind of what your role is in all of this, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm a workforce development coordinator at the Community Development Corporation. So I help a lot of folks find work or build up entrepreneurial skills. So we really found the need for expungement after the oil spill.
Yeah, what was happening? I guess jobs are drying up after the oil spill, right?
Exactly.
And so you're trying to help people find jobs in this economy. And what problems were you running into?
Yeah, so for example, one of the first cases was we had a crabber who was displaced by the oil spill, and he was trying to get government benefits. Mm-hmm. And he actually got denied multiple times for Medicare, Medicaid, and also food stamps.
And why was he denied?
And that's when we found out that he had when he was filling out these forms and it asked you, have you ever been convicted of a felony, he had to click, he had to mark yes, and then...
and how long ago was the felony?
Right now, he's in his 30s, and this was something in the 20s, in his early 20s. Mm-hmm. So this is over a decade, and it's still.
And he served his time. He's done what he had to do, and he's out working and trying to make an honest living.
Exactly, and because of the oil spill, he has to go resort to direct assistance to make ends meet while the oil's being cleaned up, and he wasn't able to do so. And what was really interesting is once we got him on board, there was a bunch of other people that said, "Oh, I know cousins or friends that are in the exact same boat," and the reason why they're able to find jobs is either through self-employment or employment through family. But when we're trying to address employment through other means, through the more mainstream market, that's also a huge barrier.
So a lot of people that you were dealing with and trying to get jobs were getting rejected because they had these past felonies and they've served their time, and because this is on their record, they can't get a job.
Exactly, and another impact that we found was really it heavily impacts the direct services avenue as well. Food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, and also food bank eligibility as well. Our social worker actually told us that this was something that she found as a problem but didn't know how to address it. So she didn't know that expungement was the way to do it. So once we started with that BP oil spill thing, our social worker was like, I have a bunch of clients that also need help too with food stamps and
right.
Medicare, Medicaid.
And so then that's great that David Marcello is just kind of leading this up and then put all of you guys together, which is how great things get started, is somebody's leading an organization and you find the problem and then you ladies help start the solution, which is the Justice and Accountability Center, right?
Correct.
And so how are you helping to solve these problems that Daniel is facing with placing these people into the workforce?
So at the Justice and Accountability Center, one of the things that we work on exclusively are expungements, not only providing them regularly because they're not provided regularly, but also providing some sort of reform to the process to make it easier and more effective.
So you actually have more than one, I guess you would say, more than one tier to your organization. You have more of the proactive legislative. Y'all are trying to actually change the law on expungement reform.
Correct.
And then you're also trying to get expungements for people?
Correct. So
if I'm trying to find a job and I need an expungement, can I come to you, or?
you could visit our website. It's www.jaclouisiana.org. There will be some preliminary information there about what an expungement is. There's an FAQ section just so it can familiarize people with what the process is about.
Okay.
And then you can actually contact us. We also have an upcoming expungement day in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
On January 14th at the Leo S. Butler Center.
Okay.
It'll be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be lawyers on staff to help you and guide you through the process. And also, we're planning to have a spring expungement day, and we're working on a model for a mobile expungement clinic so that we can provide these services to people and bring them to different communities throughout New Orleans on a regular basis.
Well, I think that's great, and I know that we will stay in touch, and when you have these clinics and these clinics arise, I'll make sure to post it on my Facebook page so that my listeners know.
Yes.
When y'all are having these, and it's so important to get the word out. And I thank both of you and all of you for your efforts in this process. And so for the listeners, again, that is www.jaclouisiana.org. And you can contact Adrienne or Ameca, and I'm sure they will help you out.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thanks, ladies. And thank you, Dan.